Welcome back to the Dawn Edition, your home for deep dives into the wealth, power, and influence of Africa's most fascinating figures. Tonight, we explore a man who blends business with philanthropy, who turns profit into purpose, and who has built a reputation on bricks and mortar, quite literally. This is the story of Collen Mashawana in 2025. Before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the Dawn Edition, and ring the bell so you never miss our breakdowns of Africa's wealthiest and most powerful. And while you're at it, drop a comment. What do you think counts more, money in the bank, or the impact you make with it? Collen's journey starts far from the glitz of Johannesburg. Born on the 2nd of September 1981 in Itsani, a village near Thohoyindu in Limpopo, his childhood was humble but full of the lessons that would shape his empire. He sold fruit on the roadside, ran a payphone business, and even tried his hand at a car wash. For some, these were small hustles. For Collen, they were his first classrooms in entrepreneurship, teaching him the value of hard work, negotiation, and resilience. Education lifted him further. With a background in information technology, he broke into South Africa's corporate world, eventually landing executive positions at major IT companies. But his ambition couldn't be contained. In 2005, he launched Afribus Invest, a company that would grow into an infrastructure investment powerhouse. Think roads, utilities, housing, logistics, and tech, the backbone of Africa's future. By 2009, he had also founded Quinisa, later rebranded as Telcolink, an ICT company that kept him rooted in the digital world while his empire expanded into the physical. Now here's where the story gets interesting.
Many people ask me, what do you consider as success? When you say you are successful, what is it that you refer to when you say, I'm a successful person? And my answer is always one. Success is identifying your purpose in life and having to achieve that. Whether you achieve it at 40, yes, you achieve it at 80, you achieve it at 100, yes, as long as you have identified, why am I here in this earth? In the process of doing that, help a neighbor. When you've got food to share, share with your neighbor. When you've got more building materials and you finish building and your neighbor lacks, go and give him some bags of cement, give him some bricks. A candle loses no light from lighting the next candle.
For most tycoons, the focus is on accumulation, bigger deals, bigger profits, bigger homes. But Collen Mashawana chose a slightly different route. In 2012, he established the Collen Mashawana Foundation, a philanthropic arm with a bold mission to build homes for the vulnerable. Not just a few, not just symbolic, but hundreds. By 2025, the foundation boasts of having delivered over 300 homes, many fully furnished, to the elderly, people living with disabilities, and families who had spent decades in shacks.
Yo, what's going on, man? Listen, I just want to wish the Collen Mashawana Foundation all the best, and God bless you. And thank you for the wonderful social development work that you have been doing for the poor all over Africa. You know what I'm saying? From Akon. Peace.
So the houses that we build, we have built thousands of houses and we give them to people. Those houses that we build and give it to old people.
Picture this, an elderly grandmother in Limpopo, who has spent her life raising children and grandchildren under leaking roofs, suddenly handed the keys to a modern home. That's the type of scene Collen has made routine. And it's not just personal funding. By 2024 and 2025, his foundation had brought in big partners like the Industrial Development Corporation and West Bank, showing that philanthropy could also be a magnet for corporate collaboration. And recognition has followed. In April 2024, UNISA awarded Collen an honorary doctorate for his contributions to entrepreneurship and philanthropy. The image of him receiving that accolade captured the essence of his brand: businessman, philanthropist, and symbol of hope.
This recognition is dedicated to all those who shaped me. From Mashawana village to Makwatambani, Nguza, Miruwani, Toyando, Itsani, Shayandima, Hillbrow, and Yeovil. You instilled in me the belief that charity begins at home, but extends far beyond. Your selfless acts of kindness, from donating spare change to me, similar to the kids that are found mostly at traffic lights begging for food and change, to giving my mother tips, who raised me as a waitress, so that she could provide for me and my siblings.
But here's where we pause. Viewers, hit that subscribe button right now if you're enjoying the story, because what comes next is crucial. When people ask, how rich is Collen Mashawana in 2025, the answers are murky. Some media outlets throw out figures, are 270 million net worth here, are 30 million mentioned there. These numbers make headlines, but they are not audited. They're estimates, sometimes inflated, sometimes unverified. The truth? His companies operate in sectors where contracts run into the hundreds of millions. His foundation consistently delivers housing projects that require significant budgets. And his lifestyle, while not always public, suggests access to serious wealth. Wealth, though, is never just about rents. For Collen, it's also about influence. Afribus operates in a space where government partnerships and public-private ventures are key. The foundation ensures his name is constantly associated with generosity and impact. Together, they create a brand that is both lucrative and respected. Still, no fortune is free from shadows.
Do you know what the response is from Mr. Mashawana and his companies? This is all part of what he calls the Collen Mashawana Foundation. What is the response there? Are workers still not paid as we speak?
From the reports that we have, the workers are still not yet paid. And what is more disturbing is that these people were actually even going to be paid as little as 1,700. But what we found out was that they were actually paid as little as 366 rand somewhere there. So it just shows you that the sickness of corruption is actually getting out of hands. And sadly, as communities, we remain at the receiving end of it all.
What is it that you can do as a civics organization that basically whose job it is to advocate for poor people?
You know, we've been calling up on action to be taken in terms of dealing with corruption within the country. But it looks as though our calls always fall on deaf ears. Do you understand? Corruption within our country has gone out of hands and it has been normalized. It's so saddening to an extent that I think the only thing that is actually left is for them to actually entrench it in our constitution. These people are looting without any fear. They have no consciousness left or whatsoever. But we are welcoming the suspension of the CEO, and we are actually hoping for more people to be actually suspended. But what actually baffles us the most, Butoli, is that we actually do not understand why did Public Works decide to outsource its own initiative. This is a government initiative which is now outsourced to some foundations which obviously do not care about our people. Because we are of a very strong view that if this EPWP program was still handled by Public Works as it used to be, we would not be having the issues that we are having.
In 2025, investigative reports linked Collen's foundation to the Independent Development Trust, IDT, which was under fire for questionable spending. Allegations surfaced that tens of millions of rands had moved from the IDT to the foundation, and that luxury property payments for suspended IDT CEO Tebogo Maloka may have been connected to him. Important to note, these remain allegations, not proven convictions. Yet they remind us that the higher you rise, the more scrutiny you face. So how do we measure his wealth? Let's break it down. Fact, he owns businesses in infrastructure and ICT. Fact, his foundation has delivered hundreds of homes, often in partnership with major institutions. Fact, he received national recognition in the form of a UNISA doctorate. Add to this the visible signs of wealth, the mansion stories, the luxury lifestyle content online, and you paint the picture of a man who is undeniably rich. But the exact number? Unknown. Maybe at 270 million, maybe less, maybe more. The only certainty is that he has both the financial and social capital to operate at a level very few South Africans can reach. And that, dear viewers, is perhaps the most important point. Collen Mashawana's wealth in 2025 isn't just about what sits in his bank account. It's about what he can build, who he can influence, and how he has managed to turn philanthropy into a brand as powerful as his business ventures. Now, let me ask you this: if you had a 30 million today, would you build yourself a mansion, or would you build 30 community homes at a 1 million each? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see where you stand on wealth versus impact. As we wrap up, remember this: Collen Mashawana is rich enough to make headlines, rich enough to make a difference, and rich enough to attract both admiration and suspicion. His story is one of ambition, generosity, and controversy, the three ingredients that often define South Africa's wealthiest figures.
I believe for us to be able to change the world, we must change the world that we've got access to. We must change the world that is at our disposal, and that world is what we come across every single day. To be part of the Collen Mashawana Foundation, I always say to those that are closest to me that they are Collen Mashawana and I am Collen Mashawana, and the next person who has a similar heart to us is Collen Mashawana. So Collen Mashawana is everyone who has a good heart and who has a heart of helping the next person. So to join us and join our journey, which we have now traveled for 10 years, you don't have to be at the Collen Mashawana Foundation offices. You can be in your office, you can be in your own home, you can be in your own space, you can be in your own car. You know, when you come across someone who needs help, you have to unleash that heart, the heart of Collen Mashawana, the heart of giving, the heart of loving, the heart of looking after your neighbor, looking after your fellow brother, your fellow sister, looking after a stranger. And I believe that's the world we need to change.
Never underestimate the difference you can make in the lives of others. Step forward, reach out.
Thank you for watching this deep dive here on the Dawn Edition. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our uploads. And before you go, don't miss our breakdown of Aliko Dangote's net wealth. It's playing right now in the top corner of your screen. Click it, and let's keep uncovering the real stories behind Africa's billionaires.